This is the one way to get business. When I tell real estate agents, they kind of poo-poo. Literally today, I was coaching an agent who said she had to get one deal as fast as possible. She, for whatever reasons, didn't have to borrow money. Should she get a side gig, a side job? How can she make money quickly? And I said, this is it. This is it. And I think sometimes we poo-poo the way that's simple, but not easy. Simple, meaning there's not a lot to describe it. It makes sense. It's not easy. It's the real work. So number 10, we're going to talk about COI referrals, or center of influence referrals, or sphere of influence referrals. Now, like everything I teach in probate, it's not a quick fix. You got to do the hard work. You have to be consistent at it. Though this is something you could jump in right away, knock out in 30 days. You've got to follow up. We say in real estate that we lead generate for show and we follow up for dough. Customers choose you to either represent them to sell the house, or work with you to buy a house, or as an investor will work with you because they believe you're going to follow up on what you say you're going to do. You've got to follow up on the leads and the marketing. That's your addition time to show them what you're able to do. And then you have to learn and improve all the time. Nothing anybody ever teaches is the final say in how to do business in anything. You've really got to learn and improve your game all the time. That's why when I say I'm the LAProbate expert, I don't mean to say I achieved a certain status and I'm done learning. The opposite. I'm still interviewing attorneys, still reading books, watching YouTube videos. Last week, how to do probate in Arkansas. I was a guest on the Arkansas call. So it's about learning and improving your game all the time, wherever it is you're doing business. So number 1's clients. Now this one's kind of obvious to me. And when people say, well, I want to get into probate, and if you're an agent or investor wholesaler already doing business, the easiest way to get the next probate deal is do something in probate, take a class, get certified, sell a probate, buy a probate, go to court, something, and tell everybody you know that you're involved in the probate business. People love hearing, people who know you, like you, trust you, love hearing about you doing new stuff. And again, I'm not talking about people who don't like you. Forget them. So realtors, we have a database we would call our COI or SOI. That would include all past clients. That would include all past prospects. That would include everybody we know. Everybody who meets what I call the Big Five. Actually comes from BigJoel.com, Joel Epstein. They know, you know them, they know you. They like you. If you call them, they'd return your phone call. If you bumped into them, they'd be pleasant. That's everybody you know that falls in that category should be in your COI. Now, we have to find a way to communicate with a lot of people. You can call them one by one, great. You can email them all, also very great. I think minimal standard in real estate now is to email everybody you know every week something about real estate. You can post that on your social media instead of pictures of chocolate chip cookies that drive me crazy, or half clothed people, or something else. And there's nothing wrong with having, rather than that you sold a house, provide some value about probate. Learn something about how probate works and share that with your database in your social media so you're giving value. You know, I laugh when I see realtors say, well, I'm embarrassed to say I got a great review from my customer. You're not embarrassed. You did it on purpose. It gives nothing to the viewer. Why not learn something in a probate class and share it, your understanding of it? You don't have to know everything about probate. If you know one thing, you know more than everybody else in your database, share that with them once a week. Put that in Facebook or LinkedIn, or make a video of it in Facebook or YouTube. So number 1 is your COI. This is the most underutilized, free, most profitable, best source of business for realtors and investors and wholesalers by far. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. You can't sell a book which says, learn about probate, and every day when you learn something, share it with everybody you know. You can't make money selling that, but that's what generates business. I'll share with you guys. My biggest client in the last 2 years, I knew her socially. Her mother and I were friends. We invited her. We met her mother and her at a friend's lunch. And then a few years later, maybe 10 years later, my wife and I went to dinner at a friend's house, saw her again, nice lady. I'm in court one day, bumps into me. Hey, how you doing? What do you do? I'm in probate real estate. What do you do? Well, it turns out I have a legal situation. I won't give out the details. And I went on and sold about 20 properties for her and her family because I knew her, because I told her what I did. She knew I was in real estate, but didn't know why I was at court. Tell everybody about real estate, and more importantly, tell them all about something that you learn about probate. Now, I'm curious, on this call right now, you guys want to be silent? Fine, you're scared. You guys want to have your cameras off because you're shy? Okay. But let's do some business. Who here on this call cannot email everybody you know and tell them something about probate once you've learned it? You can watch a video or take a class. Who can't do that? Say me. On the flip side, who thinks if you're a realtor, you either took a certification class?
Hey.
Okay, there's one person who can't get a deal. Okay, sorry to hear that. I'm going to say that you're wrong. Because I'm going to say everybody on this call, if you all did something to learn about the business of probate, whatever that means to you, if you're a realtor, it's an easy one. Read the probate forms in zip forms. Just read one form. Read a few paragraphs and share what you learned. If you're an investor wholesaler, watch my YouTube channel on other ways to generate business or how probate works in court, for example, and share that or look at that. Nan says she's already certified. Great, Nan, just share one or two things you learned with your sphere every day, every week, 3 times a week. Call them all, email them all. Everybody could do this, and I assure you, we all know but at least 100 people. And if you email all of them something once a week on real estate and call them all every 90 days and occasionally blend in something about real estate, here's something you could share. You want to avoid probate? Get a living trust. What's a living trust? It's like a box you put your assets in. So when, God forbid, you die or incapacitated, your assets don't be unattended. You write out instructions called a living trust that tells your heirs exactly what to do. And you avoid probate court most of the time. There's some free something you can tell everybody you know. Encourage them to investigate living trusts.